Hi, I'm Penelope, but you can call me Leslie, because that's my name. I write fantasy and paranormal romance. I have two series right now, the Earthsinger Chronicles and the Angel-Born Cycle. Most of my characters are outcasts or misfits and are just trying to figure out a place where they fit and to find their place in their society or in their world. And I think that's one of the things that really draws me to that genre, and especially the type of fantasy and paranormal that I write. One of the most frequent questions that I get is why I write what I write. And there's lots of different ways to answer that question, and different answers come to me at different times. Ever since I was a kid, both of my parents, they would make up stories for you, and childhood is always very fantastical and full of magical creatures. My mom would tell us stories about a horse, a winged horse who would take kids away. My dad had stories about the juice bee. It was a giant bee that you could ride on his back and he'd fly you all around. So, aside from just regular children's books and stories, those were kind of foundational inside of our family. Other influences that were huge when I was younger: Twilight Zone, Outer Limits, Amazing Stories, Tales from the Crypt, Tales from the Dark Side. I loved all of that. And then, The Never-Ending Story, The Princess Bride. Those are movies that I could watch every day, multiple times a day, and sometimes I did. So I came by it honestly. I was never into like role-playing games or D&D or anything like that. And so epic fantasy isn't necessarily what I'm drawn to, but I always liked more near future sci-fi, more things that are based more in reality. Even if they're second world, they're very close to our world. And that's the type of thing that I've been writing. This is Sterling. And we also have a dog named Sable, who's not so camera hungry. Fantasy and paranormal also fall under the umbrella of speculative fiction, which basically kind of just asks the question, what if? What if there was a girl who can see the dead, but she can't tell the dead from the living? Or what if you grow up basically caught in between two countries that have been at war for hundreds of years, and one parent is from one country and one parent is from the other country? So these sorts of what if questions about people's place and how they deal with the world and society are why I love speculative fiction and why I write it also. Another reason that I think I'm drawn to it is just from my own life and my own experiences. I had several experiences growing up, going to 5 elementary schools in 6 years, where I was the only Black person in the school, and in at least one case, the only one that had ever been in the school before. And so fielding questions about your hair and your skin and what you eat, and do you do things the same, and like you're an alien from some other planet, you identify with that, with this othering, and making peace with that, I think, or trying to make life make sense when that's your experience. It feels like you're living a science fictional life. It's like you are the star of your own fantasy or speculative fiction movie. And when that is your life, I think that being drawn to sci-fi and fantasy just makes complete sense. So that's a little bit about me and why I write what I do. Check out my website for links to my books, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions you'd like me to answer on my video blog. See you soon.